president. Gert?
Okay, Gert Thompson, KK6 is DGA, and I'm the secretary of the club.
Hank Thompson, K6 AG.
Progress.
I'm Kilo November 6, Victor Delta Papa. See it on my cap. I'm new to the club. My name is Steve. I live over in Arden Arcade, and I will be in the rotation for the 10-meter net control as soon as I get my R7000.
We got a new member.
I'm Chuck, KD6BYS, a newbie.
Newbie?
Yeah, the doctor told me about this.
Oh, you've been licensed for a while with the KD6.
Yeah,
You're just new to the club.
That's the old number. I never went ahead and changed it to one of the short numbers.
No,
I like
okay.
big yellow submarine better.
Big, yeah, I like that.
So why?
Sylvia, dear.
I'm Sylvia, Kilo Sierra 6 Whiskey Tango Fox.
Yes.
I'm Bob, KF6 ABC.
Tom, Whiskey 6 Bravo Sierra.
James, Kilo November 6, Quebec, November Juliet.
I'm Bob, N6 PGQ.
Wilson, N6 EMF.
Electromotive force.
EMF.
There's Carol.
Yeah, I'm Carol, KP4MD. I'm a webmaster for the club. Also, your ARL Sacramento Valley section manager.
And Mike.
Oh, I'm Mike, K7GFM, a board member.
I'm
David.
WD6 YLK, beautiful downtown underwater world.
He's the submarine runner.
Well,
Ken.
say that.
Ken, K6 RMN,
And Maria.
editor.
Good coffee, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, for those of you who are unaware, it's time to renew your dues. First of the year. Last year, we had a large number of folks who never got around to it. So I'm going to do my level best to promote the idea of dues payment. In other things, I want to mention to you that the nature of this club is a social nature. That's why they call them clubs. But our club is also a technical organization, because in order to get your license, guess what you had to do? Demonstrate technical skill. And so we support those technical skills. And along those lines, we're conducting a clinic, training seminar, whatever you'd like to call it, working with the Nano VNA, which is a pretty remarkable piece of technology.
Carol's working fine.
I'm sorry. Did I hear something?
Somebody on Zoom was saying it's working.
Oh, in the old days, if you wanted to vector network analyzer, the numbers started in the 5 digits. And I don't know what the low 5-digit was, but I imagine it was in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Nano VNA is about $60. And it's a pretty remarkable little device. I was playing with a little more today, finalizing my little PowerPoint and all my little demo hardware. By the way, it's all demo hardware stuff that we're going to do there. You're going to measure filters. You're going to measure matching networks. You're going to have some model antennas that you get to tune to different frequencies using the skills and tools in SimSmith. It's going to be pretty neat. So in any event, we got some other things that we're doing. We're going to have our first Saturday breakfast on the 21st at Brookfields, Madison at 8:30. And I'm looking forward to that. I think it'll be fun. I was a member of a club over in Napa, and they had a breakfast every week. And we had more damn fun at that breakfast than we ever had at those meetings. It's a chance to just talk about stuff. And one of the important things that happens in those sessions is you provide fodder for the board members, because you can't believe how tough it is for us to figure out what you guys would like in the form of a presentation. It's a guessing game. But you know, when you sit down and you get a bunch of guys talking, pretty soon topics come up, and that's going to make our life much easier. And it's going to make your experience that much better. And there's one other thing that I'd like to bring up at this point, and this baffles me. You'll note that the vice president is conducting this meeting. That's because we don't have a president. There was no nominations and no volunteers for the office of president.
We nominated you, Phil.
Vice president. In charge of
That's the
vice.
one you accept.
Vice.
Well, we needed both.
And the bottom line is, we need a president. We got 185 members. How can we have 185 members and nobody wants to be president? And the thing about this is, there's really only two absolute responsibilities of the president. One is to conduct this meeting, and the other one is to conduct the board meeting. There's a lot, typically the presidents get involved in a lot of other stuff too. They all work hard, but literally those are the only two requirements by our bylaws. So again, I don't understand it, and I think we need to kind of be talking to all of our fellow members and see if we can't get that slot filled. It's actually it's an honorary position, and there are people that are well deserving. This evening's presentation is going to be by Howard Bernstein, who is president of the Long Island CW Club. He's quite a CW nut, and that organization's got a bunch of members. I don't know how many.
When I joined, it's 3,000.
3,000?
And it's growing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably more. I made Wilson sign up too.
Wilson. And he's eating a salad.
And he's eating a salad.
Oh, that drives a Porsche. Wait till I get him in my nano class.
Nano.
So, along with those things, we got a couple of reports, and I did throw JoJo's report on this flash drive. I don't know if it's on any other thing around here.
Oh, probably in my email.
Well, again, we got to get it.
There's a message here, Howard from the CW Club is not able to log in, and he's asking if you need to reboot the Zoom session to get him in.
Shouldn't have to.
Well, that's what he's saying.
I have no idea.
Art couldn't get in either because it's asking for his username and his password for his Zoom account.
Yeah. Tell him.
Does anybody know how to deal with that?
Can you give them the same credentials we use to log in?
No, because then he'll be the host, and you'll have to give him the.
We could reclaim the host if he becomes the.
Yeah, you're going to have to give him the username and the password for the club's account, and he will then become the host and manage the entire meeting.
There is.
Well, maybe that's.
I don't know how to solve this.
No,
Okay.
Somebody have the email with the link in it, they can send it to him.
I think he had it.
Yeah, it comes up and tells you need to log in. I logged in with my Google account. Tell him to try logging in with his Google account. And then he can just put in that, it'll let him in.
the Google account will let you log in. Oh, it's your Google email address. You have to put in an email address, right?
If you have a Google account, you just touch the Google account, it signs you in.
Oh, okay.
That's how I got in.
Oh, they're saying, Jim is saying W6JNM says just the restart of Zoom would be fine. So we're gonna have to stop the Zoom here and then restart it. That's what Jim says.
Who knows how to do that?
Yeah, we can start. Yeah, this is the thing is this is an Apple computer. And that's the problem. Okay.
Unfamiliar territory.
They want you to end the Zoom session and End the
All right,
meeting.
well, let's tell them what we're gonna do. Okay. Okay, we are,
Right back there.
going to end the Zoom session and start it up again.
Jojo, you want to give your report?
All right, you ready?
Restart the.
It's always 20% of the people doing 80% of the work. Always.
Why?
It's the truth.
Been around a long time.
So that's just the way it is. But we have 178 members. 190, and look at us here tonight. And how many do we have? On Zoom?
He would be doing the recording.
You know, typically when we held this meeting prior to the whole thing, we have about 30 people from this meeting. And collectively, between the Zoom attendees and those.
Well, I went to the meeting at the last, and there seemed to be more people there at that meeting.
Well, that's
Did you
because
notice that?
It's not gonna be.
Ah. But see, you're wearing two hats now. The VP and.
Here's the VP.
When the president goes down for whatever reason, the vice president has to step in.
It's still a VP role.
Anyway, well, thank you for your time. And hopefully we can get this going because I'm gonna make it happen. So,
Howard?
and
Appreciate it.
everybody's welcome. You don't have to be a
He's not
member
in here yet.
of this club or North Hills.
And you know what else? I think we were talking about needing topics for presentation. You might want to do a presentation about the nitty-gritty and frequency sometime in the future.
Put me on the list, but I will send it over to contact it.
Perfect.
Sounds like
That way the story, the dialogue is yours and it gets out the way you'd like to see it out.
Okay.
Howard couldn't join us and Arthur couldn't.
Okay, with that, we're gonna go to JoJo. Have we got everybody up now?
Got a message from our speaker. Sorry to say that Howard is not able to log into the Zoom meeting. We will have to reschedule.
Okay, well, it's gonna be a short meeting tonight.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, well, good evening. Happy New Year to everyone. My name is Jojo, KM6HTV, the club treasurer and membership chair. It's good to be with everyone here. I'm presenting the club treasury and membership report for tonight. So far, this start of the year 2023, we have 50 members paid. And as Bill mentioned earlier, we have over 195 members who have paid in 2022. So we have 37% paid, and that's against 135 members paid in 2022. We'll find out how they catch up. I think the fact that we have these activities where we make sure you are members to be able to participate makes a lot of difference in making them current with their membership dues. It's been very evident. The membership renewal is accepted year-round. So every September, that carries on to the next year's membership cycle. So enjoy club activities by being current with your dues. Thank you. For the latest membership status, please check your call signs at n6na.org. That's always updated every couple of days. There's about 4 more who have renewed, and I have yet to enter them. We have 113 ARRL members, and that's historically in our club. That's about over 50%.
It's locked. Ooh.
So we welcome our new members, Tony, KN6BVX.
Oh,
And
that one.
Richard, N6RF.
I love that one.
It's a good one.
Okay, so that's for the membership report. For our financial, we have 8,698.26 cash in our savings account. So that's our bank balance. And thank you for our evergreen donors, David KM6GYM and Lawrence KC6PRH. I think we will have additional evergreen donor. Thank you. You have contributed more than enough. to qualify for that. Yes,
Jojo.
Can you tell me if I've paid up or not, if I've renewed? I can't remember.
I don't think you have renewed yet.
You know how to tell?
In the same line are the members that are listed on the webpage current for the 2023 year.
That's all
So
that's
if you
on there,
do not-
right?
That's all that's there.
Yeah.
So if you're not there, you haven't paid.
You haven't paid
Right
yet.
now, it's a pretty short list.
Yeah,
It's 50 members.
Well, today is also
Correct.
the third,
Yeah.
so
yeah.
it's okay.
I have a question. Do we have a separate repeater fund?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's part of our total fund. We
Okay,
got
so
it
you
split in
break
two
it out.
separate sections, yeah. Want to break it out on what the repeater?
No, I was just wondering.
Yeah.
We do, so I was wondering if the other club members, do we break it out? So
We break it out.
so
But
in case we.
It's one bank account with two designated areas.
So how's the repeater fund? Is it okay?
We've got about $3,000 in it.
All right, so we're okay. We
Yeah,
can
very good.
replace the controllers.
Actually, we've got some of that coming up, actually.
Okay.
Mr. Huber and I have been talking about some changes in the repeater hardware.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
And yeah, for the agenda items and recent news is the Nano VNA that's hot right now. We have 2 sessions for that, and everybody's excited.
Two.
Two
Yeah,
sessions.
Have a second one?
No, it's the first section, but 2 groups. First section, 2 groups.
Oh, okay.
So many people showed an interest, they decided that they needed two sessions, so.
We're radioactive, man. We get this stuff done.
I'm out of town, so I was waiting till the second.
I also.
Well, it's January 25th, and the second one starts on January 26th.
Yeah, we're out of town.
Sorry.
By the
So
way,
is Mike.
No.
I got an
We're going
update
to
from.
the same place.
You know, if you get real close, one behind the other, you can draft.
Challenge is who's gonna be in the front.
I always like being in the front.
Keep it fair.
And when you get into the turns, make sure you get a little bit of oversteer going. That's when it's,
He goes
That's
way faster than me.
that's when it's.
Designed for overseas.
Kevin, that's for Kevin. Jojo, does that cover everything?
Almost. Thank you very much for this note. I just want to mention that you mentioned about Chris Huber. He gave me an update that he'll be bringing back the 440 repeater somewhere in the foothills, and it should be operational too.
Oh, is it down?
It has been down for maybe 2 years now.
Yeah, that's
Oh, we're talking about the one that's over at
Andy's house.
Andy's house.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
It's a second UHF repeater. Their second UHF repeater.
Okay. Any other questions? Thank you. I'll be giving out some other tokens from my bag.
Jojo, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Harold, how about your report?
Yeah, I have my report queued up here, and I'm gonna go ahead and share it on Zoom, so everybody else can see it here. Get over to Zoom, share my screen. Let's see, and so it's supposed to disable participant screen sharing.
Well,
So
let's
you-
see if we
you-
can,
You need to enable that.
let's see if we can enable that. See if that does it.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, it looks like we can do that. Yeah, great. Okay.
Welcome to my world.
Let's see how it works.
Hey, there's John Geyer.
Hey, it's working.
That's what's gonna come up on the screen in a minute.
Maybe. That's probably still.
We don't see anything yet, Carol.
There it goes. It's just a little, I got a slow computer here, sorry. Okay,
There it is.
there it is.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Yeah, this is the web resource report for December 2022. And there's our speaker, who unfortunately was not able to join us today. We have a number of people that tried to get in and couldn't join us. Art couldn't get in either. They all said that, well, Art said that it was requesting a username and a Zoom password. So
Let me interrupt there.
yeah, we usually have 30 people sign in. We only had 6 people sign in today.
And how are they?
What configures that? What causes that? I mean, we've been logging people in on our Zoom forever.
I think whoever set up the Zoom meeting required people to sign in with their own Zoom accounts. And I don't know who set up this meeting to begin
I
with.
think Kevin did.
Kevin.
Wasn't it Kevin? Oh, you set it up.
Yeah, but I don't believe there was anything set like that. But I can look at it.
And they have defaulted to that because you didn't override it.
But didn't Kevin also go through and set it up for each meeting night for the rest of the year?
You did it for the board meeting.
Just the board
Okay,
meeting.
well, we apologize. We had a technical problem getting people to sign into Zoom, and we will have this worked out by our next meeting. We will have a prior run to make sure it works before we have all these people locked out of the meeting next time. Sorry about that. Just again, a thanks to people who've helped with the design of the website. And we'll go to the next. A reminder that our nets meet on Wednesdays. Tomorrow night, we're going to be having our 2-meter net at 8 p.m. And that's on 145.25. Then our 10-meter net is at 8:30 p.m. on 28.420. Then we have our slow scan television net 9 p.m. on 441.30. Now I have a question. When is this 222 megahertz going to start? What day are you going to do that, Steve? I'm curious.
I'm just in the fact finding phase right now, seeing if there's enough interest in it.
Okay.
But I will have all my equipment for a run in February, so we could actually start it in February.
Okay, so Steve, his call sign is KN6VDP is interested in how many of the club members want to try to do a 222 simplex net. And that will be for February, and we'll put feelers out there.
Yeah, on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday to see who can join us. Very well. So the slow scan net also is live stream on YouTube, our YouTube channel, and the information for that's on our website, which is n6na.org. Next is website activity for the month of December. We had 1,131 page views during the entire month, which is an average of about 32 per day. The peak number of web page views was on December 21st, which was 97. Next. And the most visited web pages in December homepage was 440 views. We had 50 views to our Nets page. The All-Star page had 40 views. The Magnetic Loop Antenna Project page had 37 views, and then the repeater page had 37 views. I'm suspecting that by the next report is going to say that the DIY radio page is going to have a lot of views because we have a lot of people getting involved in that now. By source, these are the where the traffic is coming into the web. It's being directed directly to n6na.org in 34.1% of the cases, and 33% of our visits are coming referred by Google, and the others in that pie chart, smaller slices come from different sources as well. And 859 of the page views came from California. 27 came from a place called the South Moravia region, which we think is in Europe. And then 21 came from Washington State, and all the others came from different states and different countries around the world. All of those countries you see in blue are countries that originated visitors to our website as well. And just a reminder, our social media, we now have 388 subscribers to our YouTube channel. That's an increase of 6. We had 308 views of our videos on our YouTube channel. And that's an increase in 38 over the previous month. Facebook page has 658 followers, and that's an increase of 38. It's quite a big number. The Twitter page has 143 followers, and our Discord chat has 31 members. So just a reminder that any questions you have about River City Arcs, you can send an email to contact@n6na.org, and we will route it to the appropriate person and get you an answer. So thank you very much for letting me share.
Thank you, Carol.
Questions?
Yes.
On the sources for
how people find our webpage. Does that mean that if you look it up on DuckGoGo or something,
Yes.
that's the source? If you type it in directly, what does it show?
If you go to a search engine,
Uh-huh.
it'll direct us, will direct the viewer to our webpage, and it'll show up on the pie chart as coming from that source.
But if you type it in directly,
It shows that it's in 6na.org. Yeah.
Yeah.
but the source is direct, I guess.
Yeah, it's a direct connection. Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay, thank you.
I think what I need to do between now and the next meeting is work with a few of our members who are familiar with this entire Zoom format. And we'll do a little in-person get together. I think we also have some issues with having adequate hardware. I know that another club I'm involved with, they had to add a microphone so that people on Zoom could actually hear what's going on. And they also had an external camera, so the camera could actually pick up the entire group. So I think I'll get that set up, and then I'll do a poll of the board members via email if there's some money we need to spend, and we'll get this thing put together the way it needs to be put together. With that, who's got a story to tell?
Well, I know Howard and Art are not here, but I could show a little bit of and preview, maybe Howard speaks next week about Long Island CW. I've been pretty active in it.
Oh, have you?
And so if people who have no experience with it at all are kind of curious, I could do
I was a member once.
3 minutes of that.
Tell us what we're missing, huh?
Show you what you're missing and what's coming.
I actually built up a number of interfaces to work with a cheap HT so that you could do CW on the over the repeater.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I did a presentation for Howard on a Zoom presentation.
You did.
And he made me an honorary member.
Well, then you know.
Oh, I do.
I could just do a screen share real quick and preview what you'll
That'd be great.
do. Should I do that?
Sure.
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
Wonderful.
I need this. So I can use any. I guess I'll use
Whatever you'd like.
All right.
I'll tell you, this is a real slow computer.
All right. Okay.
I've got one like that. XP machine. I love it.
So.
Yeah, new computer,
I'm sorry.
a new computer for the club.
I think that's. What's that?
It's a wide
See if I can get this to work.
The software package for the alarm system on a bus will not grow.
Over $80,000.
Oh, it's not letting me see it. Hold on. Well. Not letting me share. All right, well,
Might be able to do it here. What is it, or something on the web?
on the web, yeah.
Oh, okay, let's see.
I'll go to Long Island CWClub.org.
Okay. So,
Mr. Geyer, how you doing, Sunshine?
Yeah, well, working fine before.
well, they have on
CW Club.
Which
Yeah.
CW. Well, those two positions.
Yeah.
It's thinking. I don't know how to share on this one.
Yeah, you click on that green button.
Well, but it wasn't showing. I think it has. So we do need a meeting, I agree.
Yeah,
There it is.
the guys really know what's going on and we'll get.
So
this
can
thing
you
fixed.
go back to share to the Zoom
Just share that.
and share that
Okay. Back to the Zoom, share.
and share?
Yeah.
Oh, it's right. Hold on. I got some- All right.
We'll have a good time. I just gotta get.
Is it there? Oh, yeah.
That's right there.
Right
Yes,
there.
as far as I'll prefer it.
Let's see if that'll share.
Oh, I'm gonna have to press share. Press share.
Until I get my.
We were talking about that nano being. Did you get signed?
There.
Is it working?
Yeah, but it takes a little time.
All right.
By the time I got some.
It was gone in like 14 hours. Yeah. That's why I asked the secretary.
I'm on the, Wednesday session.
Perfect. I know you were interested.
Yes. Now I gotta go buy the device. They have a,
No.
they have a 2022 version listed on some.
Well, we could come back to that.
No, any of them will get it done. There's so much
I have my
horsepower in that
computer.
little machine, I think.
It's just not.
The extra feathers on top really don't make much difference.
Yeah, no, you may as well stop sharing. Wait, no. All right, well,
Are we getting there?
no, I'm gonna try on my computer and see if we can. So let's move on, and if I can make it work, we'll come back.
Well, again, back to stories. Bob and I were palling around together Saturday night. And he forgot to pay his power bill.
Oh, yeah.
Along with the.
We were in the dark.
That's nothing.
What time did you get your power back?
14 hours later.
14.
Yeah, too bad.
There's a lot of that.
Where, what area?
No.
He's off American River, American River Drive.
Near AR College. That in?
No,
What avenue?
that's,
Out from Rear Americano High School.
yeah, American, the college is.
You're by Rio? Near Rio. Okay. That's where I went to high school.
I thought you were asking if he's by Rio.
By Rio.
What is by?
Near.
Near. Oh,
It's like another kind of. Yeah, minor. Yeah, minor.
you're bad, you know. And those are your good points. You. We're gonna fix you.
So how many people are going to Quartz Fest?
Over here.
Mike's going.
We talked Mike into us.
Well, as long as people are just popping up with things, the North American CUSO Party CW is not this weekend, but next weekend, the 14th. And the North American CUSO Party phone is the 21st.
Huh.
Bill's coming over to my house, right?
I don't know. I gotta look. You know, I have a very busy social calendar.
I understand it's a golf day, right?
If it is a golf day, Bob and I are busy.
Uh-oh. It looks like we're gonna be golfing very soon.
Well, we're gonna have to get those tall galoshes.
I guess.
Waiters.
There's more hazards. on it.
Floating golf.
Kayak?
We went to a golf course on Sunday and you looked down the first fairway. It was a lake.
And that was the fairway.
So we had breakfast in bed.
And we're not good enough to hit it over the lake.
Talk about a water hazard.
Yeah, right.
Well, we're kind of heavy duty, diehard guys.
Aren't smart enough.
I still maintain their golf course is a waste of a perfectly good life.
Don't even start down that path. You're outnumbered.
What kind of reach was that?
I'm sorry.
What kind of reach? Just perfectly good what my backstop is talking about.
What kind of range did you say that was?
I said, it's perfectly waste of good life.
Oh, right.
All right, I got it.
Oh, hey, here we go.
All right.
Lead off, James.
All right. I'm not gonna do that.
Turn that
Make sure they're not multiple.
All right, you can see, unmute. There, okay. Now we're good. So you see for today at 5 a.m. they had an intermediate class and then get on the air class. What they try to do is get everybody on the air as quickly as possible. And I'll explain this a little bit. They have beginners carousel 1 and beginners carousel 2, where they run you through a series of the most used letters, 3 at a time per week, that you learn. And so I'll show you that in a second. But this is just this week's calendar. They have 7-10 classes a day through Zoom. And they have 3 different Zoom rooms.
Wow.
I bet people can log on too.
Looks
Yeah, it's
like they've had practice.
it's impressive. Is this what I want to show? Here you go. So this is the tool that they use. Right. So let's say you're in BC1 and you're studying REA.
What is REA?
Letters.
Just the letters, REA. Right. And then you start playing.
Yeah.
So this is 2 minutes of drills. You would, of course, black it out so you can't see it. So you're writing this down.
I hate to tell you this, but I remember doing this when I was 11.
I believe it.
You remember something that far back?
Barely.
You had radio back then?
Oh, you smart ass.
Vacuum tubes.
So, and then you go back and you grade yourself, then you look at yourself. So the classes run you through that, and then the instructors also will do live work with you. And so they teach you how to use this. This also has some other tools and where it will talk to you. Let me see if this will work.
The bottom part is the answers that we're coming across.
Right.
Can you change? It looks like you can change the pitch.
You can change everything. Yeah.
They put a lot of work into that.
They did.
Spaces too.
You can control the spacing. There's the effective Farnsworth speed. There's the character speed. You can adjust all of it. So Howard was going to talk about that tonight.
Well, we'll get him back.
Yeah.
You know what's odd is we actually had 4 people
From
successfully log in.
from the club.
30.
Well, I understand, but the fact is
Right.
something's working.
Yeah.
So I don't understand what happened.
If Carol is right, then it would be the people that have Zoom accounts.
Yeah, I had to log in with my own personal Zoom account, which I usually don't, to be able to get into the
So
meeting.
the Zoom account was the deal?
No, there's a
The
setting.
meeting is set up so that you need a Zoom ID to log in, and that's not normal.
Well, when I logged in, I just clicked on the link that was in the club newspaper.
Yeah,
And then when it came up, it asked me if I wanted to continue with my Google account. I said, yeah, and it joined me in.
so it didn't work for the other people then.
Didn't ask that question.
Tom says he can just change the,
Headed for the barn?
Yeah, I'm bringing my daughter biology class. I'll give you short time.
Jojo, thank you ever so much.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Say violence.
So, any more questions about that? That's a preview of what Howard will talk about.
That looks pretty neat.
And Arthur's the one that got me into it, and then I got Wilson to do it.
So I do have a question.
Well, it's all these classes go ahead, Wilson.
they get you.
So if you're jumping into this and you know your alphabet, but you're not proficient beyond that, is there a way to jump in beyond that level?
In all these, throughout the week, there are sending classes for beginners, advanced, super advanced. There are, they really work on not just receiving, but sending, a lot on sending, including how to hold your hand style, all through Zoom. They say, yeah.
So somebody listen on the other end?
Yeah, they listen to the instructors. They'll go around. There might be 8 or 10 people, depends how many people show up, and everybody gets a chance.
How do you send with an oscillator, home oscillator?
You can have your oscillator. I use my 991
side tone,
without the thing on. Yeah.
It's not
Very interesting.
plugged into the computer and doing it.
No, it doesn't matter as long as you can generate the sounds. Whatever MFJ makes an independent isolator.
There's something interesting about this here. We were at a W6 SFM meeting, and we were doing this send Morse code with your left foot contest. Zoom would not pick up the code oscillator.
So I'll show you how that. So they have you adjust for that by. I have to go back to Zoom here.
It's probably two.
It was left foot.
I'll show you how.
I failed.
Let me come back to that for a second, because one of the first things they have you do is adjust for that in your Zoom. But you see, Tom, on the first, there was the buddy program at 1 p.m. in Zoom Room A. And that's where you can practice a lot. They have all sorts of live QSOs, and they have the thing that we built, the Morosino, which is a practice device, which you can also.
That thing looked pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. Oh, yeah,
That's something that Art Creative is using.
No,
I don't know if Art uses
I think
that.
it came out of Europe.
It's out of Austria.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop sharing and answer your question to show you on audio settings. You have to adjust. Oh, you can't see it.
No.
Well, when you go into audio settings, you have auto, low, medium, high. You have to put it to low. Allow faint background sound.
Allow faint background.
And that's how you turn that off for business meetings if you have kids or somebody yelling at you.
Yeah, the cat.
The cat jumps on the key.
All right. That's any other questions about that for now? I've enjoyed it a lot. It's another club. To Phil's point, it's a real there's a real social club. The skill of some of the instructors and the knowledge is really
ham radio
Yeah.
is a really interesting hobby for at least one really interesting reason. There's a million different ways to approach it. You can do the amateur television. You can moon bounce signals if you want. You can use CW with 5 watts and try to work the world. You can use single sideband. You can use digital modes. You could play with antennas. You could play with circuits. I mean, there's just a million different ways to approach this hobby and have a good time.
And Howard's 3,000 students all do all of that. And it's all through this curriculum.
Okay, and so the rest of it is, I suppose, Howard would touch on it.
Yes.
So the classes pay as you go, or are they part of being just a club
I think,
member?
was it $30 or $30 a year per year and $99 to be a life member?
So,
I
yeah.
bought my calendar members.
And then,
It sounds pretty cool, doesn't it?
yeah.
And the neat thing about CW is it's kind of our own special language.
It is.
Well, how many places besides amateur radio do you hear people using it?
the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
They still use it for radio,
Yes,
so,
they do.
so it's still a radio thing, but we're
Yes.
not, you know, we're not beating it.
Western Union's dead.
Yeah,
Bring them back.
not using it for, you know, rump signals and.
And, you know, most aircraft beacons were identified with a
They
CW6.
still are.
Are they still?
But the Coast Guard has gone just strictly to voice now. They decommissioned their camera, their CW stations.
That may well be the case. There's a good friend of mine who was a Coast Guard CW operator. I had to bring him over when the contests are on. I'm sure he could blip through that stuff.
Yeah,
All right. I think if that's it, I would like to have a conversation with Tom and James and Carol about recommendations as to who I should have in this session where we deal with this Zoom issue.
Well, I think Mark had volunteered to help with
Yeah, I just need to have to know what methods you're using for the connection.
Mark had volunteered to help with that.
Cool.
More of a, you know, the projector and that type of person, but I'm sure I can figure out the Zoom issue as well.
Bill, is this going to be our meeting place for the near future?
yeah.
No.
Mark is in W6 Alpha Echo. That's his plus sign.
Aren't we here for like 3 months running so far?
Mike is the only one who would know the answer.
I signed up for either 4 or 5 months through April or May. We need to get somebody else, and I think it's gonna be Phil that's gonna use his library.
Did they confirm all those dates?
Yes,
Oh, good. So there's your answer.
Yeah.
So the next 4 or 5 months, we're here. We're liable to figure out this wall thing and everything by then.
nice projector.
And they have a rule that says you can only do it for 6 months within 1 year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
Is
For one
that, is that
library card
for
or for
for
one card?
library card?
I don't know the answer, but the library person told me that.
Yeah.
I've also been told that the Wi-Fi connection times out at 9 o'clock.
It does.
Oh, we got people in there with Wi-Fi if they need it.
Yeah, well, we haven't even got to 7:30 yet. I think we're good.
Well, we are tonight at this point.
But since we're starting at 6:30 instead of 7:30, I think we really.
From this
bought
point,
ourselves some
from
time.
this point forward, we're gonna move to 7,
Okay.
Unless we get him back.
unless which?
Unless we have an East Coast.
I think he'd probably accommodate the 30-minute difference. I don't see that as a real issue. The reason we did it in the first place is we assumed that, you know, the witching hour was 9 o'clock. And we had to be out of here, which proved to be not the case. We can go till 10.
The only problem with going beyond 9 o'clock is that if you've got your Zoom established for the host is on here, and then the Wi-Fi goes down, everybody's gone.
Yes.
And then.
So the Zoom thing has to end by 9 unless we make other arrangements.
And then if we want to sit around and chit chat for a little bit, we're good. As long as we're out of here by 10.
Or if somebody brings in a hotspot and you run the Zoom off the hotspot, then
the host.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. Either way.
This is it.
So like, you know, I also know
I'm on the library.
for a couple months, and I'm going to be going on that.
Well, my hotspot started to join. And I like it. I just not got it. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was good. I guess we'll try it. Well, that's one part. Let's see.
You know, I feel really special. I think this is the first meeting I've ever been to that I screwed it up.
Explain it on top.
He just covered about.
We never did get to our putting contest, did we?
No, we didn't. No, we lost it after. Lights too. That's pretty.
This.
Well, unless there's some other questions or issues, I think it's time for us all to go home.
Thank you.
I like this room.
It's a great room. So we got it for the next
Check there.
4 months. Put it away.
Sporadic.
We just got
Really
it.
good for a while, and then a little. You lose it so fast, even just hearing Arnie.
You know what?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's right.
There is a myriad of settings. Let me end the recording, I guess. It'll then want to download your laptop. That'll be a pain.